Dabba, and we're live. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to TwistedYounginz, the most unorthodox show on the globe. I am one of your hosts, Myra King.
And it's the Desi Des.
And it's your boy Mojo in the building. And today we got another special guest with us. Go ahead, sir. Let the people know who you are.
What's going on, good people out there watching right now? I go by the name of Kia like a car, shine like a star. KiaShine, kinfolk I prefer. And how's everybody doing on this blessed by the best Sunday?
Man, we're doing good, you know. Yeah. Blessed like you. We're blessed to be here. Blessed to wake up this morning.
Some people alive without COVID. Yeah, a lot of people did.
Indeed. Be alive. Feeling positive, testing COVID negative. That's the thing.
That's a fact.
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
You have a long track record as far as your career span wise. Let the people know. Of course, we know who you are, but give just like a little bit of background about yourself.
No problem at all. I am ambidextrous when it comes to the music or the hustle of music. I started out by as a CEO of Rap Hustler. Well, no, let me back it up. Before I started my own record label, Rap Hustlers, back in Memphis in 2002, where I signed Yo Gotti and Lil Chat, Skinny Pimp, Gangsta Black, a lot of Memphis talent. I was a dot connector. I connected a lot of dots for Drummer Boy when he came out of high school, and I was selling his beats to major labels, and I was able to sell his beats and get a production situation with Rough Riders. And so it started with that. Then I graduated to being the CEO of Rap Hustlers and started my independent movement from Memphis. You had 3 6 Mafia, then you had Rap Hustlers, and then Rap Hustlers birthed Yo Gotti, because we had his first 2 albums and first videos and all that stuff or whatever. So, and then now you got CMG, PRE, and those guys or whatever. So we are the Rap Hustlers was the in between the 3 6 movement, and then what you see now with CMG and PRE. So it started. That's my career started that way. Then I got my own solo recording contract with Sylvia Rome with Universal Motown. I was able to come out with a dope album called Due Season back in 07. Had a few singles on it. So Crispy was one that went gold. And Wow and I Be Everywhere. It had a Stunner Friends, Respect My Friends. Had a whole swag movement with my music. From there, I co-wrote Drake's Best I Ever Had. You see that plaque right there?
Hold on, we gotta slow it down.
Yeah.
True,
rolling past. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Wait, no. Let him finish getting his career on. Like, we gonna talk
okay,
about that.
we're gonna slice this down.
But let him finish.
No doubt. But that's the plaque behind me for the Best I Ever Had. 4 times platinum single. Then from there, I hosted raps. Well, prior to that, I started to dabble in TV before I got my record contract. I used to host Rap City. Back when Rick Ross and I were in the booth. You could probably do your Googles. You could see first time Rick Ross was in the Rap City booth, he was in there rapping with me. When Port of Miami came out, I was the host. I think. So that was happening. So that's my first dabble in the television, but I would get back to it as I'm doing it now, because I'm an actor. I play in a Superfly movie. I play Big Man in Superfly. I play I played a bouncer in Atlanta, season 2 of Atlanta, episode 203, where I had a very, very funny scene with Donald Glover. It was really, really funny. Check that out. Then I played Leon on Star on Fox with Queen Latifah and Brandy. Last season, I did 7 episodes of that. I also played in Greenleaf, season 4 of Greenleaf, episode 2 and 3. Check me out on that. And I got some new stuff that I'm working with right now with Cedric Entertainment on a new show that he's releasing. So, just all across the board, just working, you know what I mean? Just putting my work in. And I have what I'm most excited about is my website, coffeewithkinfolk.com. It's an inspiration for your situation, inspirational site that just kind of puts out some power, positivity is what it started as, but I'm getting ready to revamp it with a lot more content that would include my family, my kids, my children, and stuff like that, as far as my wife, but it started with just these positive messages and merch, like the merch I got on or whatever and stuff. All of it is available on coffeewithkinfolk.com. And I thank you guys for supporting the site, because it goes towards autism awareness. I have a son, Jameson, whose birthday today, he turns 10. Luckily he's asleep right now, so I'm taking a break from the daddy duty, but he has autism. So, a lot of percentage of the proceeds that from the merch go to creating autism awareness, awareness about autism. So that in a nutshell is like, I'm a husband. I've been married 18 years, I'm saying, with my wife. And, I'm a father of 6, 4, and they all 4 of them with my wife, 2 of them with prior situations back before I met my wife. But, and all my kids is, they all, they all blessed by the best. But so, yeah, I mean, that's me in a nutshell,
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, 18 years is a long time, my friend.
We've been married 15, been together 18.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, 15 years of marriage and being together in an 18-year marriage, period, especially as long as the business, long as you've been in the business. That's a declaration of,
Hey, that helps you. That helps you focus.
Right when I got started, I really got going good at it. Me and her met, and and she really helped me a lot. With just just the human aspect of music. So it's been a blessing to be able to have somebody that that I could be able to lean on and have a partner in life with.
Hey, this your boy Desi Dez.
And it's your boy Mojo. And if you like what you are seeing so far, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the page.
Please.
And if all else fails and you like what you talking about as far as this merch wise, baby, hit us up. You know what I'm saying? Check us out on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook at TwistedYounginz with a Z. You know what I'm talking about? Make sure you give us an email at TwistedYounginz@gmail.com for all promotions.
Where's it at TwistedYounginz@gmail.com.
Yes, sir, with a Z. And also, if y'all don't like what you see right now as far as merch-wise, we got more merch, and we also do merch.
Do your merch,
Send us in a
we
couple
support
designs.
everybody.
Yeah, and we do promotional packages, interviews, videos, articles, whatever you guys need, man. Just make sure you hit us up. Holla at you, baby.
Hey, don't that help you focus and get your business together?
Like, yeah, it does.
Not having to worry about other women. You focus on your music, focus on the other opportunities that's coming your way instead of just lusting after, all these different women, because that takes time away from you.
Well, I think you're very right about that. I think in the sense of I think that's what you made a great point about was time. And time is non-refundable. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful of where you spend it. You know what I mean? So to me, when you are chasing women or you are entertaining women or trying to, you out there trying to find that one or whatever, you in the world out there, you're doing that thing. It does take time away. It just takes time. It's, sometimes women can be a distraction, and I've been blessed not to be able to have the distraction of trying to find, somebody new or women, like that side, new woman or whatever. But, it's still, you have to be able to divide your time manage your time between family and then still business and music, you know what I mean? As far as our film or television or consulting or positive speaking, whatever it is, or creating merch, family, you're not losing time putting time in the family, but you still got to manage your time. And I just know as a young man, if you're super young out here and you're running around chasing these women, that time could be put towards your vision, towards what you believe in, towards what you're trying to accomplish out here,
And there's time trying to holler at them, and it's also time trying to hide it. You know what I mean? If you married, you gotta hide it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like
that's too much time.
No doubt.
If you man, it's too much, man. Like, listen, it's trying to have a wife and somebody else. Man, like, more power to you, brother. If you can do it, and you're gonna spend a lot of money. You're gonna spend a lot of money. You know what I mean? You're gonna trick off a lot of money doing that. You know what I mean? You're gonna spend a lot of money trying to appease and please your other woman, and then you're number one too. You know what I mean? You're gonna spend a lot of money. So and when you think about spending that money on extracurricular relationships, man, what could you have put that money? You could have put that money into something that could be able to be an investment for your future, for your kids. You know what I mean? It's just so much more you could have done with that bread when you really look at it. So it's like if you're being led by your head, the head down there instead of your head up here, it's like you're gonna end up, you know what I mean? It's gonna end up a bad situation for you, and it just, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy, man. So you might have been blessed with a situation where you got that bag and you got that money, But then at the same time, you allow extramarital affairs to happen, and now you get caught up into some stuff you can't get out of. You know what I mean? And a lot of people do that, man. They get the money, and then that's when the stuff starts happening to them or whatever, because you got a real enemy out here that don't really want you with it. You know what I mean? So you got to really be sober and be vigilant. You know what I mean? In mind. You know what I mean? As far as like, you know what I mean, what going on out here, because man, this world and the distractions of this world, man, it's be meant to get you off. You know what I mean? And the enemy ain't using necessarily coming at you with no horn sticking out his head. It's like shit. The enemy coming with a bad bitch. You dig what I'm saying? She might not even know she being used, you know what I mean, for the other side, but it does happen though. You dig what I'm saying? So you got to be careful, man.
Yeah. So you are from Memphis, correct?
Oh yeah, Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised, North Memphis, East Memphis. Yeah, but all of Memphis I represent. Yeah, Memphis is the home. Memphis was my training ground. Memphis was my stomping ground. Memphis gave me the inspiration I needed for my situation to be able to get up and get out of there. You know what I mean? And if you can make it out of Memphis, you can make it anywhere.
Now, how can you can you equate coming out of Memphis? Where did you get the mindset to start a record label? And how did you even did you even get into the casino business?
I was in the casino business working for Harris, the corporate office, and I was managing call centers and managing people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I wasn't necessarily in the casino day-to-day business of casino stuff. It was more like a hospitality, and I was just managing people. So managing people, that skill set works in whatever business you're dealing with. You know what I mean? So that's really kind of like, that skill set, that corporate skill set, and then also learning how to take care of business, period. You know what I mean? Is one thing that that I got from being on the corporate side. But then at the same time, I had people like Tony Draper, who started Suave House. Suave House was a record label that put out 8-Ball MJG. So I was very cool with Ernest Draper, his brother. So I was able to get a lot of game from that young man. You know what I mean? At that point in time when I was a young man. You know what I mean? So I was able to do that. I had people around me that had record deals. You know what I'm saying? I had Eric Gales, who's a very established guitarist from Memphis. Eric Gales, look him up. He's ill, and he was my high school running mate. And he had a deal with Electra Records back then. You know what I mean? So a major deal or whatever. So I had people around me that had recording deals at a young age or whatever, or had plays going on in music. So I was able to kind of soak up the game from them and kind of apply it to my situation.
Okay. And with that, you turned down 80,000 or something like that to start your own record label?
Yeah, that was back in the day, like, you know what I mean, when the casino I worked for, the call center that I worked for, that I was managing, I was a manager at the call center, and basically they were like, look, we're closing down this call center in Memphis. We want you to go to work for Harris in LA, in Vegas. And I was like, no, I had just started my record label. At the time was Diamond Cut Entertainment, and I'm like, nah, I'm really invested in that. So I'm like not gonna be able to leave Memphis and go do that, because it's gonna get me off my square. All my artists at the time was here in Memphis and was in Memphis, excuse me, at the time. So it was like, nah, I couldn't be able to go and do that. You know what I mean? So even though that was, a good job at that point in time, but it just wasn't for me. You know what I mean? It wasn't like for me. I already saw how that thing ended. You know what I mean? I just can't. I have an issue with working for things. It's hard for me to work and give my all towards things I don't own. You know what I mean? And that was just, I just couldn't do it. You know what I mean? I just couldn't. It's like basing my whole life, my family, my kids off of what somebody else could be able to do. And if they decide to close down today, then I'm hit. You know what I mean? Like good weed, I couldn't be able to do it, man. I got to be able to, eat what I kill. So, and that perspective and that mind state was already in me, so I couldn't be able to take that job, bro. I had to keep moving.
So how did so from there, and when when you were starting your own label and you explained that you were signing acts like Yo Gotti, Gangsta Black, LaChat, and all of that, how did you get all that together? How did they want to come on board with that? How did they believe in you to say, okay, I trust in you to take this to the next level of their career?
Yeah, how you meet them?
Well, I first, like, it's like God's favor and his anointing, first and foremost, it has to be on you. You know what I mean? Period. He has to be within. It's like there's a favor. There's God's favor. It has to be on you. You know what I mean? First and foremost. All right. So it's him. He get all praise and glory. He the one that wrote my story. All right. Now after that, as far as in the natural, okay, what was I doing? Okay, well, when you start making some money at something or being success, or helping someone else be successful at something, oh, it's easy for the word to get out. You know what I mean? Like when I started to help Drummer Boy sell his beats, and I started to be successful at that thing and started selling beats to this kid who had a brother, Insane Wayne, rest in peace, who was already in the music industry, and other people so it was already a scene of music people in Memphis already. So when I started to do things for this one guy, Drummer Boy, and he started to see things materialize and money come from that, and he started to tell some of his producing partners and stuff like that, then the word kind of got around that that was a guy that was like making moves in New York or whatever and stuff. So so I started to do that, started to make money and do my actions. It started to materialize. So it's like, okay, so I got a publishing deal based off the records that I sold with Drummer Boy. So because of that, I was able to take that 150 I got from Universal Music Publishing back in 2001 or two. I got that money, and then I went ahead and signed Skinny Pimp first. You know what I mean? A friend of mine, Andre Stevens, Jack Frost, was cool with Skinny, and so we was able to start a new company called Rap Hustlers. He had some producers that were dope, so I was able to sell his producers beats. Then I had Drummer Boy as well, so we just kind of formed a company called Rap Hustlers, and we started with Skinny Pimp. So I had this record that I produced for Skinny Pimp called TVs, and it was featured myself on the hook, and it had Skinny Pimp on it. So I went and got Yo Gotti because he was bubbling. He just had like a street buzz. He didn't have anything on the radio or anything like that. But so I went and put Gotti on this record with Skinny Pimp and A-Ball, and had me on the hook, and that was a hit record. So I was able to do that, and that helped boost Gotti's career. He had never had a song on the radio. So that helped boost his career, have revamped Skinny's career. And then, of course, Ball was the big guy at the time. So it's like, you know, so I was able to do that, and also started my career too. So it's like when I had a song that was playing, you know, 200 times a week in Memphis, in the surrounding areas or whatever, that record kind of was a magnet that started to bring all of Memphis to me. And then my thing was like, if these people already have a name for themselves, and I'm trying to start my name, you know, then let me go ahead and like produce for these people who have built-in fan bases. And then CDs were selling during that time, so it was like, okay, I know I could sell a certain amount of CDs if I got Lil Chat. I know I could sell a certain amount of CDs if I got Skinny Pimp based off their track record. So I was able to make investments that way and be able to bring the city to me, and then also be able to cross-market my name and blow up my situation as well. And that's what I did.
So you have the number one trap rapper of all time.
Yeah, Gotti was Life. If you look up the Life album, Life, it's available on all streaming platforms. I own that album. You know what I'm saying? That was the record. We did 100,000 records through TVT. TVT was my distributor during the time. TVT was also distributing Lil Jon and Yin Yang Twins records back in that time as well. They were only the two labels were really messing with South music at the time. It was like Universal and it was like TVT. So we was able to get a deal with TVT on the distribution, and we was able to you know, sell 100,000 records. And that 100,000 records, you know, that album that I put out on Yo Gotti featured Lil Jon, it featured Lil Flip, and those guys were on fire at the time. I had a rap tour bus. You know what I mean? So that was able to break Yo Gotti's career. Those things broke Yo Gotti, and that's how he became what he is today. You know what I mean? So yeah, that definitely took place. You go check that album out. Sonically, that album.
Nobody's beating for real like Gotti. When it comes to trap rap, nobody's beating him in no verses.
I think when you talking about the Life album, I think they had the 25 years to life or whatever.
I'm just speaking him as an artist. I ain't talking about the album, but just him as an artist. I don't think people like a trap rap. Nobody's beating no Gotti for his hits in the club.
Now, Kia, I want to ask you, how did you get to the point where you're in New York and you're doing a deal with Rough Riders? And all of this is to be clear before we get into that. All of this is before Crispy, right?
Yeah, all this is prior to Crispy. All this is before Crispy. BC, before Crispy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so like basically I sold beats to this dude, Universal, man, Dino Del Valle signed Cash Money to that $30 million deal. So I was linked with him, sold him the beat, and then I said, "You got any other A&Rs of people like you that I could be able to tap into to try to sell some beats to?" And I did so, and he plugged me with D and Y over at Rough Riders, and I started fucking with D and Y and those guys, and I was able to sell beats to them. And my man Bundo Calamundo, crazy ass name, but Bundo over at Rough Riders, he was I met him, and he put me with with D and Y, and I started kicking it with D and Y. And I was able to sell them beats, and I got a 10-song production deal with Rough Riders, and I was able to take that production deal to Universal Music Publishing in LA. And because Rough Riders was on fire during that time, I was able to secure a publishing deal for myself. And that's how I was able to, to get the money, and then took that money that they gave me and reinvested into signing artists. And then I started putting out music independently and started making money. You know what I mean? And it kind of started right from there. You know what I mean?
Did you have a publicist?
No, I haven't. No, I didn't have a publicist. I still.
So how did you reach out to the LA? Is what I'm trying to get at. Like, how did you know to go out there?
It all was I started a conversation with. If you are tapped in to God, and you are tapped into your purpose, and you're having this relationship, you asking God, like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing right now, man? I mean, God, like I got this. It's like He will bring these people to your life. He will bring certain people that, okay, I know this one girl ended up knowing this guy Manny, okay, out in LA. It was an A&R for Universal Music Publishing. Man, I said, cool, let's set a meeting. I want to go out there and meet with him. I flew out there, you know what I mean, and met with him or whatever, and then I got a publishing deal based on the music that I played him. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, God blesses through people. So that's why you got to make sure you take care of people. You know what I mean? Your relationships are just priceless. God is sending that person to you, that one person you need that is connected with that other person that you need to tap into. Those things happen for me. You know what I mean? So it was like the manifestation of the situation, you know what I mean, was all God. But that's how it happened though.
Could you walk me through? Okay, so you explained you were reaching success. You had a lot of artists, production deals, publishing. You started your label.
Mm-hmm.
How did you go from that to at one point almost losing it all and living out of your car?
Basically, the distribution deal that I had with TVT. All right. So prior to that, I was putting records out through this company called Selecto Hits. I had a distribution deal through them. They were based in Memphis. Okay. So because of where we're at, Memphis, geographically, Memphis is kind of like in the center. So Memphis is a distribution capital. So when CDs were being distributed, people would use a lower, even major labels would use this mid distributor, Selecto Hits. They were based in Memphis to be able to distribute their records to the Southeast region. So I was able to sell records to them. I would press up records and sell. I may sell like a Skinny Pimp record I'm telling you about with the TV's record on there with Yo Gotti and A-Ball. Okay. I was able to press up 30,000 of those albums and sell those albums up front to Selecto. He said $6 a record. So I made $180,000 off of that project. You see what I'm saying? I was able to press it up, sell it. All right. When I got my deal with TVT, and I was like ready to get a national distribution deal, and I was ready to grow so fast because things were happening so fast. So, and I saw that they were doing with Little John and Ying Yang Twins. I'm like, all right, let me get over here with these people. I did the same type of deal, a straight distribution deal, but what happened was they decided they wanted to steal Yo Gotti. So they decided that, and my business partner during the time, Jack Frost, I spoke about him earlier, Andre Stevens, aka Jack Frost. So basically, we have company money, and then we got, you know what I mean, personal money. Okay. So we took the publishing money, flipped it, signed the artist, and then made money back, you know what I mean? And things were rolling. Okay. But, my partner was in the streets too. So it was like, you know what I mean? We had, a couple $100,000 in the bank, and he decided to make a move in the street after we signed our distribution deal with TVT, because we were national now. So we wanted to go on a bigger marketing campaign. So basically trying to flip the money, you know what I'm saying, in the street. And it was a big dope bust that took place in Memphis, and he got caught. and we lost like, we lost a lot of money that day. Like I lost like, 150,000 that day. So that means that like the company money was dead, and now I'm dealing with personal money, and I got projects I'm still putting out the Yo Gotti album. I'm working on it at the time when that shit took place. So it's like, okay, so I take my money and put it into the Yo Gotti album, my personal money. Okay, so I put that money into it, and then when I did that, I even brought in investors to help with that situation, because it was like we had blew it up so big that like people were ready for it to come out prior to this. So it's like we actually put it out, and then TBT decides that they don't want to pay because they hear about the dope deal that took place in Memphis, and they like know that my company's at a weakened state. So they decided to just go to Yo Gotti and give Yo Gotti $50,000 to sign directly with TBT. So they do that. Gotti signs directly with TBT, even though I'm getting $7.50 a record through TBT on a straight distribution deal. After production costs, it would have been $5 a record. We sold 100,000 records of that Life album through TBT. That would have made a net profit of 500,000. These people did not pay us and was like, fine, sue us, and stole my artists is what took place. So when that took place, all my things that I invested into Yo Gotti, all that stuff, I lost. I was on my ass. I lost. You know what I mean? So it was like, man, I was on my ass. But the good thing I did do, so I lost everything. Okay? I lost house, cars, everything.
Oh.
I lost everything. Because I was like, but prior to doing the deal with TBT, I would just press up records and sell records to TV to Selecto hits, and I would make my money back. So I wasn't really tripping on making that personal investment into Yo Gotti album, because I thought for certain I'd be getting my money back from TBT when the shit sell. It did sell, but I told you what took place. So okay, bam.
What they say, sue you like?
Yeah, I could have sued them, you know what I mean? But like I was broke, so I was like trying to sue Steve Gottlieb at TBT, and this guy was the CEO of TBT, was already a lawyer, and he was just like, look, man, like let me just get your override on this Gotti album, man. Like your company's defunct right now, man. Like don't try to fight me. I can fight you. I can hold you up in court, forever. You know what I mean? So it was like that took place, and I was on my ass. You know what I'm saying? So it was like people started to vibe with Yo Gotti and go that direction, even though you know what I mean. I was all over the album and helped dude get things going. It was cool because I did put my DVD inside that actual CD, a DVD that was 30 minutes about kinfolks, and it was a dope. You can still see that DVD on YouTube. Just YouTube kinfolk Yo Gotti Life DVD, and you'll see one on Yo Gotti, 30 minutes on Yo Gotti, 30 minutes on me, and I'm in both of those DVDs. So because I marketed myself as like a young Puff, people would call me. My number was inside that CD, so people would call me, even though that when that CD was selling, people would call me and be like, "Yo, I want you to come out here and produce for me." So me, my little brothers, and my wife, with my little brother Dirty Fresh and my wife, we would drive to People's City. I'm broke as hell, but I would hop in my wife's car, and we would drive out there, man, and produce people's songs or whatever, bro. And that's how I got my bread back up. Then LeChat came to me because people saw the work. They saw what I did. So the people that saw it, the artists that saw it, and all the CEOs out there that wanted to work with me or whatever, like I was able to get my bread back up by doing that. You know what I mean? And then I decided, then LeChat album, I put out this album for her called Dramatized, put that out. And then that ended up doing like 20,000 copies, and I was able to get back on my feet. I put that out to Selecto Hits distribution. I went fuck TBT. I went back to Selecto Hits, and now doing this time, TBT is putting out records on Yo Gotti, and it's cool. I'm like, man, it's messed up, but it's cool. So at the end of the day, I was like, man, to get what I never had, I gotta do what I never never done. And what I never done is put out a song on as far as just KiaShine, just as my own music. I would always feature on other artists' music, but I never put out my own music. Mm-hmm. So I had these mixtapes that I would put out called Kinfolks mixtapes. And these tapes were popping, you know what I mean? Because these tapes were beef tapes that was going against 3 6 Mafia during that time or whatever. So they were popping. So people knew my skill set to be able to rap or be able to do hooks. They had already heard that. The audience had already heard that. So it was like I just had my own solo song. So when I did so, I had this song called Respect My Fresh. And Respect My Fresh blew up. You know what I mean? The song popped off. It ended up doing big spins. It was doing radio crazy. It was doing great numbers at radio. I was doing I may be doing like 300-400 spins a week. You know what I mean? At radio, and because of that, the label started calling me. you know what I mean, to sign me directly or whatever, like, you know what I mean? So, and then I ended up had another record called Stunner Frames. Both of those records popped, so I ended up closing a big deal with sort of Universal Motown, not Universal Music Publishing. I did that back in the day, but Universal Motown. Sylvia Rome signed me to a solo deal, and I was able to, you know, get back on my feet. You know what I mean with that. So that's pretty much how it happened. You know.
Now, when you talking about these mixtapes and whatnot coming out with everything, obviously you ran into controversy. Now you running into the whole 3-6 Mafia, where you know, I believe it was who was it? It was Juicy J and what's his name? And they seen you shook their hand. Yeah, DJ Paul, and you know, you shook their hand and you walked off, you know, and then he was like, you know, you didn't blow up. He was like, you know, you didn't start doing Memphis music until, you know, that New York shit you was doing failed, which I felt like, you know, that was kind of crazy because it seemed like, you know, you started out going out to New York making deals to come back to me.
My music, I think, first of all, like, you know, sometimes, you know, if you try to put some wisdom in fool's mouths, it ain't gonna eat it. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, his comment about New York was like, bro, like, nah, I was selling my music in New York, selling beats in New York. I was never making New York style music. If you listen to any of my songs, my music sounds like Memphis music. You know what I mean? It's Memphis all the way through and through. So like, nah, it's not like, you know what I mean? Wasn't New York style music. Crispy was a big record, you know what I mean? Was a more of a wider demographic record. But nah, if you listen to New Season, it's just dope music in my own lane of music, you know what I mean? So, but the mixtapes came out like 03, 04, you know what I'm saying, 05. You know what I mean? 03, 04. My Respect My Fresh came out in 05. Me and Partner was beefing heavy back in 03, 04. All right, so when I came into that store to see them, this was 08, okay? We had already been talking, already been cool or whatever and all that or whatever, like, had squashed everything. And, you know, because I had my own solo career happening and I started to take off. So we was done with that. So when I came to that store, it was like I'd seen Paul around Memphis or whatever and stuff and been cool vibes. So they had an in-store for that album they were putting out at the time. I came in just to show love and support, to show that Memphis needs to come together. And that was the point of doing so. But yeah, they did all that woofing when I left the store. When I was there, they shook my hand or whatever and all that or whatever. When I was there, they left. But when I was gone, because I was like, man, y'all, you know, I saw the vibe. I'm like, you know, I'm out. Niggas don't want to really come together. So all right, cool, I dipped, and then that's when they pulled the little whip and shit or whatever, all that shit the fuck up and all that. But I was gone at that point. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, when I'm in front of y'all or whatever and shit, like, niggas ain't trying to do all that. You know what I mean? That wasn't the case. So, you know, you can throw rocks and hide your hands. I'm not really tripping. It's not a problem with me whatsoever. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it was just a move to try to get Memphis to come together because, you know, them dudes were always hating. You know, they were at the time. You know, they were only getting in town for a long time until rap busters came along with our wave and rap tour buses and Yo Gottis and all these new people or whatever that was doing our thing. You know, nobody else was popping from Memphis. You know, until after that. You know, no one. 3 6 Mafia had it. You know what I mean? Until we came. You know what I mean? So I mean, they would be on the radio and doing stuff saying like rap busters and stuff like that. So they were, you know, that's what started. That's what incited the whole mixtape thing. But like, I wasn't beefing with them dudes by the time 08 came around. Man, we had all got our money and grew past that shit or whatever. But so that was just a little ploy that they was trying to do to be able to.
The beef started for nothing. Like it.
No,
like,
I just told you.
It was just, like it was over jealousy. That's all it was.
Just, yeah, it was just over jealousy, man. They would be on the radio talking about rap busters and, you know what I mean, y'all trying to sign all my old artists and get out my trash can. And, you know what I mean, they would be saying stuff like rap busters on the radio live and remotes and shit like that on 107 Live. You know what I mean? Shit like that. They would be doing that kind of stuff, like this and our label or whatever and stuff. And it's like, you know what I mean? So, you know, and then I came out with this song and I told them, I said, you know, these dudes talking about guns and all that, it take 2 arms to hold a chopper. And that kind of was a diss that Paul's arm and shit like that or whatever. So he kind of went, you know what I mean?
It was a hard diss too. That right there, sir, that sent you in a frenzy right there.
Yeah, so, you know, that's all it really was, man. But at the end of the day, if I've talked to you as a man since then, you know what I mean, prior to me coming to that store, you know, then they're like, why would I'm a smart individual. Why would I go into a store and guys having an in-store and I know it's beef? You know what I mean? Like, then that would be like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I just go in there and do that? You know what I mean? Like, I came in there because I'm like, we had already talked. prior to me getting my deal, shit was chill. Okay, so let me come in here and show some love and support. You know what I mean? That's the same way Jesus was doing when he did the verses with Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane was trying to get him riled up. And Gucci Mane played the high role and was like, look, man, this is what I'm trying to do. So it's really like, that's really what it was. You know what I mean?
I'm glad y'all squashed it, man.
Yeah. So it's all good, bro. It's all good, man. Sure. All good.
Could you explain what a production deal is and what a publishing deal or publishing contract is for? Because
a publishing contract, like an artist's 401k is publishing. So it's like, like right now when artists are really not doing shows, they're being paid through streaming, and through that streaming is calculated through publishing. You know what I mean? That's a streaming royalty. Streaming royalties is a publishing royalty. So at the end of the day, companies like like Sony ATV will like try to come in, or like Universal Music Publishing will try, or Warner Chappell will try to come in and do a deal with certain, or Cobalt. These are different publishing houses. They will try to come in and try to do a publishing deal with certain artists. You know what I mean? They'll try to come in and do a deal and say, hey, we want to do a co-publishing deal with you where we own 50% of your publishing and you own 50%, and we'll give you a sizable amount of money to be able to upfront to be able to do so. Or they want to do an admin deal where they want to do like 10% to be able to administer your publishing, and then you be able to own 90% of it, but they still give you a considerable advance if you got music or monies or royalties in the pipeline. So basically, that's the difference between the two. You know what I mean? A publishing company is that. Production deal is just like, okay, if I want you to come do 10 songs for me, you know what I mean, and I say not do a deal and I give you $2,000 a track, okay, then that's $20,000 I'm doing a production deal with you. You know what I mean? Or a production deal with a company. Like most of the time, the numbers would be bigger than that. But I'm just saying, like, if I went to Rough Riders, I'm like, they give me 10,000 a track, and they wanted me to do 10 tracks. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? That's a production deal with Rough Riders. You know what I mean? So basically, that's what a production deal is. And then you can do a production deal with major labels. You made the Atlantic make put you on a production deal or a song deal. You know what I mean? If you got dope producing or you write songs or whatever and stuff, then you can do song deals based on that as well. So there's other ways to be able to get money.
Okay, so how and one last one in regards to the production deal. So how does it work? Because a lot of producers, big producers, they sign a team of producers now nowadays, or at least it's more popular now. So like, let's just say if you have you got Chop Squad, you got 808 Mafia, you have a couple of them, they sign producers. How does that money work with them? Are they all like
All right, well, basically it's like, okay, so if I'm the head of 808 Mafia and I say, okay, I'm gonna sign you. Okay, so when I sign you guys, I'm either gonna get a percentage of the money you get for your advancements, like your tracks, or I'm going to be able to get a percentage of your publishing of what you make when you sell beats. So I may say, okay, I'm gonna sign you guys, and I'm gonna get 5% of your publishing or 10% of your publishing for the beats you make. But being under 808 Mafia will give you a tag that will be able to help you sell more beats or get your stuff more out there or whatever stuff. So then, so if I'm the CEO of 808 Mafia, then I'm getting money with 10% from this producer, 10% for that producer, 10% for that producer, 10% for that producer. You see what I'm saying? And then I can turn around and get that turns into publishing money, because so it's like say if said producer who I signs produces a record for Jay-Z, okay, then he produces a record for Jay-Z, I'm gonna get 10% of the publishing on that record. So that means when that publishing revenue is generated, that I'm gonna get 10% of that's gonna come to me. So that's pretty much how it works when you have a group of individuals. Somebody is signing the group, and then they're getting the percentage of royalties or publishing from those producers, and it's all coming back to them. Then they can take that and go do a publishing deal. You see what I'm saying? With a major company and say, I got 5 producers. You know what I'm saying? I want to do a publishing deal for all 5. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Got it.
How do you get in the room to get a deal like this?
It's 2 things. Once again, I go back to it. It is God and your grind. That's it. It's God and your grind. Those are the 2 ways to be able to get in the room. You know what I mean? Your God and grind. God will give you the favor, the wisdom, the talent, the ability to do, and your grind is going to give you the relationships and the network to be able to get in the room. All right? God is an unknown. If it's like the thing, if you knew how you can do it, then it would require you to have anything. But but you gotta exercise your faith with your works. You know what I mean? And put some grind behind that prayer. You know what I mean? And start to network to increase your network and follow up, get your dollars up. You know what I mean? Follow up with people you meet, network to increase network benefit.
All right.
All right, and you were saying like it's your God and your grind is going to put you in those positions in those rooms to
Indeed.
shine or to get those connections and meet. And
Indeed.
I agree 100%.
Definitely.
God bless you. He blesses through people, man. So you gotta you gotta network to increase your net worth. You gotta follow up to get your dollars up. Sometimes people follow up. Sometimes you network, you get a contact, but then you don't follow up to get your dollars up. You gotta follow up. You know what I mean? And sometimes that follow up is brutal because it's like you hit somebody, they don't hit you right back. You like, damn, you know what I mean? Okay, I call back again. Okay, damn. Text, okay, damn. Follow up, man. What we, you know what I mean? But you got to remember, people are not on your time; they're on their own time. And people make things a priority the way they make things a priority when they want to. So sometimes you got to just kind of swallow that pride and just keep following up until you can make yourself a priority to that person you're trying to connect with, and that's it. You know what I mean? So, that's what I learned. You know,
Now,
got to follow up.
You got to deal with, now you said you and Jack Frost, y'all are doing the label thing. Now you said TVT turned y'all down because they had the door kicked in or whatever with the whole police situation.
Nah, like with TVT, we was signed with TVT. Okay. We signed the deal with TVT. I drove my rap tour bus with rap hustles on the side with all my artists up to New York, signed a deal with TVT for straight distribution where I got 75% of the profits. When they heard about the drug bust that took place with my partner in Memphis, they thought that was a good time to be able to move in and steal our artists because they thought my label was weakened at the time. So they did that, you know what I mean? And then because I didn't have any money to fight them, that's what they did. And Gotti allowed himself to be in that situation because he was an artist, so he decided to sign over there and do that. You know what I mean? And take their 50,000, even though they owed us a half a ticket, and we had a 50-50 joint venture, so half of that money they owed us would have been yours, you know. But he decided to go and do that.
Now, Jack Frost is a prominent name in the industry. How did y'all meet?
Me and Jack Frost. Now it's It's Jack Frost in Memphis. Jack Frost from Memphis.
Yeah.
Definitely was that was my guy. He had his own label, Loot Chase. I had my own label, Diamond Cut. And then, like I said, from the produce, we used to be in the same barbershop. So when I started making my moves and doing my thing with the producers, I told him about it. And he was like, yo, I got a producer you might want to check out. And then I did. And then I ended up going to my same plug, selling his beats. So I was like, yo, bro, why don't we start a company? And it kind of started from there.
At what point did you start writing for Drake? Like, how did we even get to that point? Because Crispy had a remix with LL Cool J, E40, and everybody on it. But at one point, did you start sitting down and start writing for stuff like Best I Ever Had? You wrote a song for Shawty Low too as well, right?
Yeah. Basically, like, you know what I mean? Like when hooks and beats is my thing. Like if I get a good hook and a good beat, you know what I mean? And I just go like and see who wanted, you know what I mean? If I'm around artists or I'm around in the studio, even today, you know, I work at a Tree Sound Studios in Atlanta. And I'm like, if artists come in and I meet with an artist and they're like anybody, I'm like, yo, check out these hooks and beats. And they might wanna keep rolling with them junks, you know what I mean? They might want to cop, they want to support and buy that, you know what I mean, or use that. So, or use part of that, you know what I mean? And so it's like I make songs all the time. I always make records. I make records. I got records stacked up right now, like, you know what I mean? Even though that music, coming out with music isn't like necessarily my priority, but it's like I still create records, you know what I mean, that could work in today's marketplace. So, and I just get it to the people who already are with it, you know what I mean? So it's like, if y'all already with it, take this song and see what you can do with it, you know what I mean? And then I'll eat off the publishing of it, you know what I mean? So I'm not really tripping on that. So it started from that when I was taking beats to Lil Wayne, and taking hooks and beats to Lil Wayne. And the Drake record came from a song that I produced for Lil Wayne called "Do It for the Boy." So that's how that came about. You know what I mean? Drake thought that shit was dope. He wanted to use the hook, you know, and he used part of the song. And I had to get publishing on that when that takes place. You know what I mean? I own that. You know what I mean? You know, so that's pretty much how it would go. You know what I mean? Like, you
So
know,
you
I just
presented the hook, the beat, and part of the verse.
Hooking just the hook and the beat. You know what I mean? Sometimes if I love the song, I'll write verses, but songs are hooks and beats.
Yeah.
What you rapping about? Anybody watching this right now, he got some real game for you. Okay. What you rapping about is last. You can tell a person how to get $1 million in your verse. And when tell the $1 million is hid in this room, you got a code to get to the $1 million right here. If your hook don't snatch them and your beat don't catch them, they never get to the verse. They never get there. You never get to the verse because you'll be able to switch the song already. It's about the hook and the beat. Songs are hooks and beats. And then when you love the artist after you've been introduced to them from whatever first hook and beat snatched you, and they got you long enough for you to listen to what the artist is talking about, and you like their voice. Okay, then at that point, now when Gotti come out with something, you listening because you just got believers ear. You like him anyway. You already dig him. You know what I mean? So it ain't just like it ain't like it's not what's the word? The word would be it's not objective. You're being kind of biased in a sense because you already like the artist. But before you like Yo Gotti, you heard a hook and a beat that got you first. And then you moved on to what he's saying. You see what I'm saying? So just sonically and numerically, it's gonna be hook and the beat first. So I concentrate on hooks and beats. You know what I mean? And then you could take that and you could tell a story or whatever story you want to tell in the verses. You know what I mean? But the hooks and the beats is sells your songs. You know, and that's Cash Money figured it out with Drake. And we gonna be all right if we put Drake on every hook. Because Wayne was a great spitter, but he wasn't a great hook maker. Most of these artists aren't great at making hooks. They're just great, you know, and I was always good at picking the beats. You know what I mean? My reputation says that I know the beats to pick. So if I pick the right beat and put the right hook on the right beat, you can go ahead and go from there. So it's a hook and the beat, man. You know what I mean? It's all about the hooks and the beats, man.
So you're in the studio when you shop around your I'm not gonna shopping around.
Yeah,
but
I'm in the studio or I'm sending it to individuals that are in the studio or have the ear of the artist.
Cool. So once that takes place and they say, if I'm an artist and I'm a rapper and you send me a beat or a beat and a hook and I say, okay, cool. I'm going to take this. Do you only do splits like where, okay, this cool, you cool, you can have the beat, you just give me a part of the publishing? Or if I can say, oh, okay, I want this, I give you, a couple grand or 20 grand or how many grand up front and cash it out.
So I'm gonna get paid for the record. Now, it say Meek Mill one hook in the beat, and I gave it to him. All right, I'm not gonna say Meek, give me the money right then. A lot of times it don't work like that. It's like, okay, here go the hook in the beat. He goes and creates the hook in the beat. Now, before he releases and put any of these things on any platforms, he gonna have to come back and see me to do the split sheets and to be able to get the sign off to be able to release this material. And at that point, I'm gonna have to get paid. You see what I'm saying?
Have you ever had an artist try to give you the low end of the split?
I mean, yeah, but I'll take a low end if it's a big artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, okay, great shit. Okay, yeah, all right. You know what I mean? Because oatmeal better than no meal. You dig what I'm saying? But it's like, but every situation is different. You know what I mean? It's just you get what you negotiate, and it depends upon the artist and the situation.
Now you being very humble and everything, and very modest with us, but let's not play games.
I'm always humble and modest because what I did ain't what I'm doing. It's about what I'm doing, not what I did.
Right.
And what I did, or even what I do, don't make me better than you.
Right.
It just don't. Like we all clever, but on different levels.
didn't Drake say you didn't give him the song? Like, what is?
I mean, I'm not even. Yeah, like
I'm just trying to figure out, like, why do artists do that? Why do artists accept the hook and this beat and then say they never got it?
Exactly, but then clearly you see what's behind it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, why do that? Like, is that
That's
bad?
why I said. That's what I'm saying. Like, what I'm trying to get at is, you know what I'm saying? I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, artists don't want to admit that they got it from someone else because they want everybody to think the creativity is them. It's me. I did all this. Me.
That's artists.
Look, that was the negotiation. You wasn't supposed to come out and say you wrote that song for me. That was supposed to be me looking good. You think
now what?
I'm not. I am not at all. Now I'm humble, but I ain't no damn fool. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't finna like you ain't finna like come out here and eat. You know what I mean? And I ain't finna get a piece of what I wrote now. That ain't gonna happen. Now that's not. I'm gonna take care of business. Yeah. Non-personal.
But they saying you was like eating, but why did you? They ain't want you to come out.
That's what I'm getting at. I'm getting at the fact that, you know, like I said, you're very calm, you're very modest, you're very humble, but at the same time, like you said, it depends on every situation is different. Now, if you're a bigger artist, you're willing to take a smaller sample because you know it's gonna be a bigger back end. However, we talking about best they ever had. I heard it was allegedly 25%. There ain't no small sample size, sir.
No, exactly. It's not a small sample size. You know what I mean? It's not. So yeah, that worked out to my favor in that situation. But if Meek said, "Yo, Shine, I fuck with this hook, man, and I'm not the only fuck with you on 15% or 10% of this song," I'm gonna say, "Yeah, hey Meek, go right ahead, my brother." You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, because I know that 10% of that is gonna still be, you know what I mean?
When you gave it to him, when you gave it to Wayne, did you ever think the song would do what it did today?
Say it again.
When you gave Wayne the song or the sample and everything, did you ever think it would do with the numbers or what it actually turned out to be?
I just know the shit dope. All I know, and that's another thing, I surrender it. All I know is what I'm supposed to do. I do what I can, and then God gonna have to do what I can't. Okay. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not finna sit and tell you, man, yeah, I wrote that. I knew something. I got shit now that I know, like, this is hard. This right here is dope. I know if I get in a room with the artist and I play this, they're gonna want to mess with it. That's all I know. After that, it's like, you know what I mean? God got to come in and, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I just do the part I know. You know what I mean? And the other part or whatever, like, he got to do the rest of it. You know, because I'll come out with songs that I love. I got a song out right now. If you go stream it, it's called Walking on Faith. It's on all the platforms. Man, this song will make you cry. It'll speak to you spiritually. Now it's got on a lot of good spiritual playlists. You know what I mean? It's been doing some good streaming numbers, but like, it ain't platinum or gold or whatever, but I love it like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, like, you know, man, God, why come this one didn't go platinum or gold? This was a fire. This is something they need to hear about. But it's like, it's so many variables, bro, that go along with this thing that I just kind of put myself in a situation where, okay, I'm gonna push it and do what I can. God, you do what I can. And I'm gonna just, you know, put one foot in front of the other and keep going. So, you know what I mean? I just have been up and down so much in life that it's like, for me, I just keep it all the way cool. You know what I mean? Just like, cause, you know, I may be like, well, that guy, why did the song didn't go platinum? But then you turn around and book me for a TV show or a TV role. Like, okay, wow. Okay, well, maybe there's something else I need to be trying to, you know, I don't know what his plan is. I just know it's his plan. So I just try to like focus and stay on my part. You know, do I get frustrated where I feel like, damn, like, you know, I've done a lot of stuff out here, bro. And like, it just seems like, you know, being a good individual or being it's kind of like that's the whole thing Van Jones was talking about as far as with Donald Trump when he got elected. And he was like, man, he was happy because the character of Donald Trump sucks. And even if he did good things in the White House or whatever he did, his character sucks. But that's who was running the country at the time. But his character sucked. And it's the same thing with music. It's like, bro, you may be some of the #1 people in the game out here right now, brother. But their character sucks. You know what I mean? But character is not a prerequisite to being #1 or having the #1 spot.
Yeah.
And it's sad but true. And it's like, So I see it, and it's like, man, these dudes that's on top, man, this shit is like, you know what I mean? It make you not even want to be affiliated. Like, what you want me to do? You want me to go out here and kill somebody, get to shoot with somebody, get to beef with somebody for y'all to be able to hear me? You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. Right. I am not gonna use my voice to speak nothing negative. I ain't finna use that. And if you want to use that song, I say you that song. You can do it, but I just, that ain't my line. That ain't my vibe, bro. I don't get into that. But there's so many individuals that are number one right now, bro. The character just sucks. And you pointed out a character flaw. Not saying that his character, Drake character, is bad today. But I'll give you this theory. This is so cold right here. Oh, this cold.
Come on.
Bill Cosby, Cliff Huxtable.
Right. Cliff Huxtable has a better character than Bill Cosby.
You okay? So we believe in the Cliff Huxtable. So much so that we don't want to believe in the damn Bill Cosby. Then he did all to them girls. Damn. Just because you do some music, R. Kelly, he's a great musician. But he's also a bad character individual and has been that way for 30 years. But because somebody makes a good song, they overlook it. Sweep it on the rug. Drake said KiaShine didn't write that Drake basically ever had. Drake said KiaShine lied. KiaShine sitting right here with the plaque in his house. But the people, they're overlooked it. Oh man, it just these rappers rap about being real. But you clearly saw that wasn't a real moment. Yeah. But no one goes back and addresses that. Nobody goes back and says that. Nobody goes back and internet is written in pen, not pencil. So ain't no erasing it. Whatever they saw and they said, what they think it is, that's it. You know what I mean? The beautiful lie is better than the ugly truth. And that's what takes place, man, in this music thing. So I try not to just let myself get too stressed or worried about it. I focus on what I gotta do, focus on these beautiful blessings and these kids and my wife and my life that God has given me to be able to take care of through something that I love with music and film and television and things that don't require me to go clock in. So I'm so thankful and have an attitude of gratitude for that I can't even get caught up in those other things. But I do like to use use platforms like these to discuss it, just so people can see, man. Like, and I really think that Jeezy and that Gucci thing that took place, that is the nuance of hip hop. That's the ills of it right there. Jeezy was faced with an opportunity to say, he could have set it off in that joint when Gucci was trying to, was kind of playing him down. And Gucci, that was his truth. That was his truth. He did murder him and put him back in the box. That was his truth. But he was trying to get a rise out of Jeezy. Yeah. And he's saying that, and Jeezy, which what's the boy's name who just passed away, not Mo 3, but Big King Von, was faced with the same situation. Yeah. Quando texting back and forth. What's up, nigga? What up, nigga? Nigga, drop an attic, nigga. I pull up, nigga. What's up, nigga? What's up? Von had already left a show, was headed back to the Airbnb. Manager following him. Text battle, they done bust a left, bust a right. They done went to the spot, pulled up. Now they jacking, he's dead. What would have happened if he would have did what Jeezy did? King Von would have been alive today. The energy is there, and it wants you to grab hold of it and just say, man, fuck that nigga, man. Man, what you say, Gucci? I'm all on millions of people watching. He could have did that, but he didn't. He took the high road. He took the real road to it. And then Gucci, which I understand Gucci too. Gucci's like, man, they try to kill me or have somebody come kill me or support allegedly.
Yeah.
So I get it, But then it come to find out, Jesus said, I didn't ever send a dude. I just said the thing on tape. You know what I mean? And somebody came and did it. So, but you still said it. So you put that energy out there. So you gotta take that for what come back from that. You gotta receive that karma to come back from that. You put it on that tape, Jeezy. And then bam, somebody went and did it because they following your voice. They followed your voice. You use your voice for negativity. You use your voice for wrong. And then what happened was somebody who's listening to you when they did that thing. That's the power of hip hop. That's the influence of hip hop, and that's the power of the tongue. Those that enjoy it eat from the fruit thereof. So if you're gonna be speaking that, know that that's gonna come back in your life. Know that that's coming back. Know it's coming back at some point in time. And when it comes back, the enemy wants to kill, steal, and destroy. He wants to take you out the game. They want King Von to be gone. They want Mo 3 to be gone. They want Doe B to be gone. They want Meet the Woo. What's the boy who just passed away? They
Pop
want
Smoke, Nipsey, XX-Tentacion, the list goes on.
And the other rappers that almost got killed.
Yeah.
You get the blessing, and here come the enemy coming to take it.
Yeah.
And you have the free will. It's always a moment. It's always a moment. Nip could have walked away. Could have. I respect it. It's always a moment. It's something that took place where it could have went another way, but it didn't. Because that's what the enemy want to do, man. So at the end of the day, I am always going to take the road less traveled. Unless you put your hands on me, on my kids, on my family, bro, you could say whatever. You could call me whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? As long as you don't put your hands or touch my children or my wife, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't really care. But when you get in your feelings and you got to live up to what you said in your rhymes, and you got to let these folks know, I'm living like this. And he said, what? No.
Get emotional.
You get emotional, and then here come the enemy. Enemy laughing at your ass. Go do it. Go do it.
That's the devil.
The enemy waiting on it. Yeah.
Bust his head. Bust his head.
Go do it. And
they tell all fighters not to, when you getting ready to box or whatnot, you can't get in your feelings. You can't get mad in the fight. It's gonna throw your concentration off.
That's why the white boy had beat
Deontay Wilder, because
he was in his feelings. White boy boxing.
Yeah.
On top of it, he might have had a little tempered gloves. I don't know. The gloves was floppy a little bit.
Gloves was a little funny.
Yeah, a little funny. Now, Kia, got a question before we go on. Because I do want to ask you, I do want to get into the CBD and everything and all of that, because I know you're heavy into that as well. Talk to me about when you made your first album, because I've been trying for the longest time to figure out where you got this beat from for Bluff City Classic with 8 Ball. Now, that's my shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Excuse my friend. It's our platform. We can curse. But that was a great song. Now, how hard was it for you being a producer or a person who worked with all these different producers, giving out all these different songs, came up with all these different artists? And don't get me wrong, it's clear that your talent picking eyeball is something. I mean, like you said, Yo Gotti, Lil Chad, and everybody. You even worked with Bankroll Fresh before he popped off.
That was my guy. Ooh, that was my guy.
Yeah. So, clearly you got an eye for the talent. How hard was it for you to pick beats for your own stuff? When it came down to it, they like, hey, now you got to come up with something. How hard was it for you to go into the studio and take the beats that's given to you and get to it?
Very, very difficult, because it's easy for me to tell somebody what they need to do for their music. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. But for me, it's like, man, it's hard for me to be able to see like what direction because I like so many different types of music. So it's like I could go so many different ways. So that's why like songwriting giving me the ability to be able to just, hey, check this out. This is dope. This is dope. You want to use this? Want to use this? I have love affairs with these songs. I make them. I love on them. And then it's like, man, is this mine or is it somebody else's? Now, that Bluff City Classic record was like, okay, I'm just picking from things that I loved as a child. I used to love that Pimps record by 8 Ball and JG on their first tape. And I was like, all right, I'm going to redo that. And if I like playing with guitars and low end. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the Respect My Fresh had the same.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's just the live guitars and low end. So, and it's very southern. It's a very southern way of making music. Pimp C did a lot of it like that. You know what I'm saying? So, Crit uses a lot of that. You know what I mean? Outkast. Yeah, like that song was a dope song, bro. That like man, I just remember making the beat. We made the beat from scratch, and a lot of my songs I make the beat or I co-produce the beat with another producer, and we make the beat from scratch first, and then we go put the lyrics on top of it. So it was like just making something from scratch. Stunner Frames, Respect My Fresh, a lot of them songs, Crispy, all was made from just scratch. So like it's very hard, but it's like also like it is time consuming because it take a long time of studio time to create a song from scratch, like to make a riff that you continue to love as you continue making it without like falling out of love with it while you're making it. Like, okay, I ain't fuck with this no more. It ain't, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So once you get something that you stay, you're tuned in and you're focused on it, you get it. That Bluff City Classic was when we tuned in, we focused on it, we got it, and it was just an incredible song that I got to re-put on Spotify because the sample
You do.
they has an issue or whatever, so I got to put it back up there. I'm gonna put it back up there this week, as a matter of fact, through Empire. So Bluff City Classic, the song we're talking about. I'm gonna by the time you guys see this interview, it will be up on all the platforms because it's the one song on Due Season that does not play when you play it on all those platforms or whatever. So it will be back up this week. I didn't even realize that till one of my fans told me that was going on. So yeah, Bluff City Class is one of my favorite records, and that kind of song, I could play you 10 of those right now. I could literally sing you 10 songs that have that vibe to it. You know what I mean?
I mean, please do. I get high to it all the time. I mean, please do. That's
oh yeah,
that's one of my jams
I'm a
right there.
smoker. You know what I mean? Like I have a marijuana persona, so it's like I make music that will like when you listen to it and if you keep listening to it. First of all, I make music that is you can keep listening to it. Like it's not gonna get. You're gonna keep listening to it. So it's like
It doesn't age.
yeah, it don't age. I try to make timeless music, undeniable timeless music when I go in there. What I try to go in there and do. Say what you want to, but all my songs continue to play. They continue to play. I continue to see a royalty from them. They continue to play. And then it's funny because a lot of the sounds that people go into now, like is like derived from a lot of that. And I mean, every artist may say this about their own music, but I'm not just a rapper. So it's like when I'm looking at things, I'm always looking at things from a business perspective, or from a creative perspective. I'm a creative, so I'm like, yo, like if you listen to DJ Mustard sound, man, you listen to Crispy, like just or listen to 2 Chainz, I'm different.
Mhm.
I listen to like I could name you about 100 songs, bro, that like took that skeleton and remade them something. You know what I mean? Based off that skeleton, that tempo. You know what I mean? A lot of the swag music. Like when I came out, it was Trap or Die was the thing that was popping.
Mhm.
So when I came out, I didn't want to sound like them. That's today's marketplace. The young artists want to sound like somebody else.
Mhm.
They want to sound like somebody else. Like they don't get. I used to want to be different and not sound like somebody else. So with the swag, I came with swag music. I remember the Five magazine telling me swag music. What are you trying to do? Start his own lane of music? What is he doing? Like, and next thing after that, you hear everybody came out talking about swag, drip. You know what I mean? Like now that's what's up. You know what I mean? But like when I came out with it, it was not well received. But sometimes you could be so ahead of your time. Sometimes you could be like a little ahead of your time. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And that's good when somebody says, "Man, that boy was ahead of his time." Because if you look at everybody out of Memphis now. Everybody jeans 900, shoes 850. You know what I mean? If
Mhm.
you look at it, you know what I mean. I'm just being honest. Like if you look at Memphis music before Crispy, and then you look at it now. If you look at Memphis music before Respect My Fresh, Respect on all them, like if you look at music before that, look at the artists, just look at the kind of music that they was making, and look at the songs, and look at what was going on. You know what I mean? The influence on the culture is definitely there. The fingerprint is there.
Bro, you on Mount Rushmore of Memphis?
Listen,
bro.
man, they ain't Mount Rushmore of Memphis. You in the Mount Rushmore of the culture.
Yes,
so you got to go ahead and pop your collar and keep it real. You invented this swag shit. Let's just go ahead and get it out. I ain't gonna say you invented it, but listen, sir, when you came out with Crispy, I remember, because I mean, we're in we're in the Midwest region. We're not in Memphis, we're in the Midwest region, St. Louis, Chicago area.
Chicago.
Yeah.
And shout out to St. Louis, shout out to UC, shout out to the Chi, shout out to Illinois, all of them, because the Missouri and Illinois, man, they support. Y'all have been supporting since day one. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Yeah, and when you came out with Crispy, we was just now moving off the whole Air Force One movement. Yeah. And you come out with the 900 jeans, not 50, and Jeezy got these VC things going on. Yeah. And you getting, I ain't gonna.
But even the Wild song too.
Yeah, even the Wild song.
Like that was when I heard that on the radio in St. Louis, I thought that was like a St. Louis artist from St. Louis at first, because I'm like, wait. But
and you went on tour with Charlie Lowe, and you had Boosie on there, didn't you?
Yep. Boosie, Shawty Low. Yep, both of those guys.
Listen, sir, you didn't work with LL Cool J and a bunch of more people, sir. Keep it honest. But like I said, you're a very humble man, and I appreciate that about you. But you could go ahead and pop your collar, sir. You like they say, I invented this drip shit. Listen, you'd probably be one of the very few people that could say it. I started some of this swag shit. If you said that, I would have no issue with it. Because what I mean by that is not even just a crispy joint. You spray painting your forces started an epidemic out here. I don't care what nobody say. You spray painting the crispy on the forces with the donuts started an epidemic.
He started the Memphis movement, bro, because he put Gotti on, and Gotti put a lot of people on.
Yeah.
So if you started the Memphis movement,
I mean, listen,
the whole thing.
I was a part of it. But I got 3 6 Mafia.
I know. You said 3 6 1. You said 3 6 1. They wasn't putting that many people on or whatever, right?
Yeah, they put Memphis artists on.
Okay.
But they just didn't do good business with Memphis artists.
Okay.
So, but they definitely was putting Memphis out there. So I dare not say I started there. I just know to the young guys that came up on Yo Gotti. And that vibe, if you from that part after 3 6 wave, after that, my wave started. So because my wave started, then you have the Moneybag Yos, the Black Youngsters, the Young Dolphs, the Key Glocks. You know what I mean? You got all the Block Boy JB, Yo Gotti. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people that came after that. That kind of like in that, Dolph is in that. Dolph fly, tall, fly nigga, you know what I mean? Rap about that fly shit, you know what I mean? Or whatever, like, that drip, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I was doing, you know what I mean? Like, so like, I think the influence is there. I know that everything comes from something else, so I don't never try to put myself in the position of where, like, now that swag thing, like, I say that because, like, it was so early that even major publications like Divide Magazine didn't even get it yet, you know what I'm saying? So, I definitely was swagging when everybody else was trapping and dying. You know what I'm saying? I definitely.
You got to take all that, bro, because it's your legacy. You got to take all that.
Yeah, we're here to give you all your roses, sir, and more. Okay. Now, like I said,
I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that.
We appreciate you.
Definitely. Before we, like I said, I want to move into the CBD because I know that's a huge thing that you into, and I do want to get
the Shorty Low first. I never heard how you met him.
Yeah, how did you meet Shorty Low and everything?
Man, LO is my Atlanta partner, man. Like, a lot of people don't know, but I have a place in Atlanta since '05. So it's like, that's him and D Pharrell and whatever, like they just my Atlanta partners, man. Like we just out be in the clubs and stuff, man. And people that it's funny because like Atlanta definitely embraced me, and they just like, like all the stuff I was doing, Rap Hustlers and all the stuff I was with Gotti stuff prior to this. They all knew about that. So when I came down here, the Atlanta culture kind of like embraced me, and Shawty Low was one of the individuals that really did that and supported. And I really like his music, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like simple, but it was just so gutter, you know what I mean? And so we connected. I got some songs with him that we did that before he passed, man. I wish I get my hands on them, Johnson, whatever. Some dope songs that he did. that I wrote for him. You know what I mean? There's some really good music, man. So like that was just my partner. We collected. We
How do you
vibed.
do it? You lock in the studio, or you just send
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
them?
studio. Yeah, the studio.
Okay.
Like I'll send some stuff if you ask me to send it, but like it's always best to get in the studio. You know what I'm saying? It's always best to get to sell a record. It's best to get in the studio with an artist. You know what I'm saying?
When you in the studio, how long do you be in there before you actually make a song? Like, how long is
I
the
was in
thinking
there.
process?
If you go back on my Instagram, you'll see me up with a post with Tyler Yahweh, Post Malone's artist.
Yeah.
I was in there with him. We did like 10 songs. We was in there from like 9 o'clock one night to like 11 o'clock the next morning.
Now,
You know
what
what I'm
was
saying?
that like? Tyler Yahweh is a little different.
Yeah.
He got very distinct type of music.
He's raging. He's a rager. He's a young rager. He's like, I ain't never. That was probably one of my wildest experiences as far as recording. Just how he go about his recording. Tyler is like, man, Tyler's ill. You know what I mean? He's ill with his whole thing and how he go about it. There's no one way or right way or one certain particular way to make music. So if you're out there watching, like, just know that. And he definitely speaks to that. You know what I mean? He speaks to that hugely. Like it's just crazy how you go about recording his music. But we got one called Percocet or Prosecco, that's like super dope. So hopefully he uses that one and puts Post Malone on that one because that John is crazy. It's a crazy record. And I did the hook and me and my brother Dirty Fresh and Foz did the beat. It's crazy.
Okay. Now, one more thing, like I said, before we get into the CBD and this weed journey real fast, I gotta ask you, how was it working with T-Pain? Because I know you got the song with T-Pain and 2 Chainz.
Yeah, Dreads.
I ain't never forget about it. Okay, it came out, I believe it was like 2010, 09, something like that.
Banger.
I was still in high school. I was bumping that. I remember that because T-Pain was in his prime at that time.
Exactly.
How was that catching him? And like I said, in the middle of his prime, this is during the whole, you can't believe it. You know, the song of Wayne.
Oh, this is the middle of that?
Yeah, this was in the middle of that. So how was that? How did that collaboration come along? And as well with Titty Boy, because Titty Boy was still with the other group.
But he was starting to bubble.
He was starting to come out on his own, come out of shit.
I just call her Boo. I don't know her last name. All right. So I already had messed with T-Pain. He was a fan of the music, you know what I mean, of my music already. So we already had a cool rapport. Me and 2 Chainz had also a great rapport already. I've been knowing 2 since one of the guys that embraced me when I first moved to Atlanta. He was one. He was one of the dudes that did that. 2 Chainz did his verse for free. And so did T-Pain. They both. That's one of those I had the beat already. Hot Rod did the beat. I had the hook on it, and I just sent them the junk and the files, both of them, and they smashed that hoe and sent them back to me. You know what I mean?
When they do it for free, do they want like nothing? They don't get no points.
Like I said, they gonna want their credit. You know what I'm saying? They gonna want their bucket. They don't want, you know what I mean, like all that. You know what I'm saying? For sure. And I definitely made sure they got that. But like other than that, like they just did it without having to, you know what I mean? Like, it with respect. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you got respect, you might have spend that check.
Right.
That's true. That's fact. That's fact.
You know what I mean? So, it's just respect and relationship, like I've been saying since the whole interview. Just relationships, God's favor, and respect. You know what I'm saying? Bro, somebody got respect for you and they got love for what you do. They'll just do it. You know what I mean? Especially if they feel it, they're gonna kill it. You know what I mean? And they felt it, so they killed it. That John was banging. That Dreads is one of my favorite records.
Yeah.
That's a favorite record. Y'all go stream this. It's Dreads by KiaShine, T-Pain, and 2 Chainz available on all platforms right now. Go stream it. It's just banging.
That's a fact. Now, let's move along. Like I said, let's go ahead and cross over into this marijuana situation. Now, you look like you was just smoking some of the greenest of the green the other day on your Instagram. Can you talk to me about that?
Yes, indeed. Man, I was actually in LA. Yeah. It's funny because he was. I'm gonna look at myself. I never look hot at me, but yeah, man, I am a true marijuana persona, and a connoisseur of the bud. For the longest, I'm so glad to see more states and places just move towards the legalization of the situation because it helps. The marijuana, I have a card from the health department to be able to give it to my son who has autism too. So it's like I see it help him. I see it help Jameson. You know what I mean? So the medical attributes of the plant is just beautiful. So yeah, it's really more of the autism thing is why I always I use it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with music, it's like, man, it's hard to do music and not smoke, like really good tree. So I'm all about the good tree. I just left LA. I got back here yesterday, as a matter of fact, and boy, I got some goodies. I really got some good strands, and that I'm about to partake in my next session. I cannot wait to do so. But like, yeah, my wife tells me, she says, when you smoke, you don't get high, you get normal. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I think like for me, that's like my thing. Like, you know what I mean? I just, I never was on the I think maybe I was on the spectrum of autism myself in some things, and I think it helps me with that. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. I mean, I'm having marijuana persona, and I see the value in the tree. I see the value in the good of the tree, and I see it at firsthand how it affects my son with autism, Jameson. So, I love it, and we do have some things coming up, some products coming up in the very near future by myself that you guys are going to be seeing come out. It's going to be super, super dope. And I also got, if you guys get a chance to, these products called Litables. Litables, I have an investment in that too. Litables is my man runs that, and he got dope edibles, really, really dope edibles. So check those out. But there's definitely going to be some products coming, some strains coming with my name on it, and some genius juice, which is what we're going to be doing for the kids with autism. So so look it out for that, because that's coming in the very near future.
That's now in regards to your son Jameson, is that you said his name is? You said he's 11, 10 years old.
He's 10 today. He's 10.
What form of what form do you give to him that helps?
We in the oil. We do 3 parts CBD, 1 part THC. Very low dosage, but it helps. It helps more than just CBD. CBD by itself needs something to be able to connect to, and through, and that's why it's so prevalent in marijuana. So when you put the two together, it definitely works, and we do it as an oil underneath his tongue, and you know what I mean, and it just works. It works.
What changes do you
Do I see?
notice? Yeah, do you see?
It just less fits. You know what I mean? Like when you have autism, first of all, let me say that a lot of times people don't understand what autism is. Like my son is nonverbal, but I say he's emerging speaking. And so when you got a son that's like not like speaking, but he can speak like sign, or he'll like, you know what I mean, he got his way of speaking, but it's like, so in doing so, like sometimes it may be frustrating for him to be able to try to say something that he's trying to learn how to say. So they may make him frustrated, you know what I mean? And he may stomp or be mad or kick or whatever, because or if you do something that's not in the routine that he likes. But when he get the tree, he's more calm and able to accept certain things a little more. Like, you know what I mean? There's no more of these oranges left, so we're gonna move on to the next thing. Instead of he just like, cause he'll get on oranges and want to eat oranges all day. That's what he wants. You know what I mean? So you got to like, it's repetition, and it's like it's they get used to a certain rhythm. So you have to be able to, like, when you can't give them that thing, they got to be able to calm down. You know what I mean? So that's what the tree does. It helps to be able to calm your situation down and be able to, and that's what we need for everybody to have for the house to be able to run correctly, for everybody to be cool. It's like, he needs to be cool. So yeah, it works. It works, man. And he starts to speak. He's starting to emerge to talk. He's saying certain things, because when you smoke, you get verbal. You know what I mean? So it helps with that as well. Like, you know what I mean? So I've seen some huge from where he came from to where he's at now. Oh my God, it's like, man, 180 degree. It's just beautiful. You know what I mean? So it's just beautiful, man.
Blessings. That's a blessing.
Definitely,
That's a blessing. Truly is, man. Truly is, man. It truly is. I guess that's another reason why I remain a little humble, because it's like, when you have a child that, like, you know what I mean, has autism, whatever, like it just it could really be tough. But I'm all, that's why with Coffee with Kinfolk, I do so much inspirational speaking to help other individuals that may be going through, and other parents that may be going through that. You know what I mean? Because it's a difficult thing with autism, man. It really is. It's a different thing, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's the truth. And you said you're gonna come out with something called brain juice or something like that for kids with autism.
Genius juice.
Genius
Because
juice.
I
Can you
feel
tell
like
me what that? Yeah, go ahead.
well, I feel like he's a little genius, you know what I mean? Because there are things he do around here I didn't teach him how to do it. He just does it. You know what I mean? He's just like, you know, he's a little genius. He's just not on. He's just different perspectives, man. Like you have to see certain things to be able to see it. You know what I mean? To be able to see like his mentality and how smart he is. So but it's just, you know, just CBD and THC, some juice to be able to help individuals who have a kid with autism, that so they won't do something to hurt themselves or hurt others. You know what I mean? So that's all. That's what it's about. And it, you know, it's like certain things you have to be regulated with. This is so much stuff you got to do to be able to come out with a product that, you know what I mean, it takes time to do so. But I'm doing it, and it's coming. You know what I mean? You may see it as soon as 21.
Congratulations.
Is there any other thing musically that you have done that you want to get out there?
No, man. I mean, I think it's, you know, man, you know, I kind of think conversations like these, you know, the things that we talk about, they were the things we meant to talk about and speak on. I think musically, I am going to release some more music next year, very, very soon. As far as just for my core fan base of people who like to hear what I got going on. So I'm gonna just do that. And and continue to keep doing all these things I just told you about in this conversation, man. You know what I mean? You know, more Coffee with Kinfolk is coming. More merch is coming. More music is coming for other people as well as myself. Like I said, it's been a big put. People have been asking me, man, you should come out with me. You should come out with songs. You should come out with songs. So, you know what I mean? I'm gonna probably come out with something like next year, or whatever. And hopefully, when this COVID's over with, I'm able to like tour it or whatever and stuff. Cause I want to, you know, I wouldn't mind getting out there doing one more tour or something like that and running around here. And now I am the artist thing. See, man, it's tough, man. Like it's like artists are some difficult people to work with. I'd rather work with them in a fashion where I'm consulting them or where I am writing or producing for them. Trying to take on that responsibility of being there, adopting a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I just that's what it's like with having artists to me. It's like adopting a child. Like, you know what I mean? It's just hard to find people that like put their real work in. Then you gotta like finance the whole situation or whatever too. So that, but there, you know, it's like I'll shine away from it for a while. You know what I mean? But like, there are things that are taking place in my in the back end of my corporate like situation with me and a particular publisher in a particular company that may give me the autonomy and the economy to sign artists and be able to do that thing. You know what I mean? I just been doing it for so long that it's like, man, like, you know, music is such a very it costs a lot to be able to put an artist out there. So it's just like, for me, I just try to work smarter, not harder. And if an artist has something going that I can quantify, that I can see that is like actually like a fan base and things are taking place, then I would be open to the idea. But if it's like bringing an artist from scratch to nothing to something, it's like, man, like just that transition is just so difficult, man, for people to go through it and keep it all the way real. So, you know, it's just, you know, I just, you know, if God sees has that for my future, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I'm not gonna reject it. It's just like it has to be the right thing. That's all. It has to be the right thing.
So if someone contacts you for consultation, you'll hit them with a
yeah, consultation all day long. I mean, I'm getting paid for my time. You know what I mean? But it's like my time, you know, it's like it's tough to be able to sow time into things when they got so many other things going on right now that it's like, you know what I mean, I can't give time to that if I'm doing this, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's all. I just, you know, it has to be the right situation. But consulting all day long. If I'm getting paid for the time, then I could be able to connect dots for an individual and be able to do that, because that way I know I'm making something for my time. You know what I mean? But with an artist, you gambling, you rolling the dice. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing like if there's something they really want to do or not. You know what I mean? Or somebody that really want to, you know, do it. You know what I mean? And really want to keep it real and keep it 100 and like, you know, and will it work? May not work, but money will be spent regardless if it works or not. So we got to make sure that we working smarter, not harder. You know what I mean?
All right, man.
Yeah.
But before we get out of here, you say you work out of Tree Studios. Is that your studio?
Tree Sound Studios. Tree Sounds Studios in Atlanta is where I work out of, and we have I have a venture with that studio. So yeah, so I'm
We'll
there.
have to come out one day and get some footage.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you gotta come out. Yeah, come on. What y'all waiting on? I'm there. I'm
I mean,
gonna go
you
there.
never lied.
You know what I'm saying? When I get done with this celebration of it for my son, I'll be headed back over there today. I'm in the studio every day. You know what I mean?
That's
So
good. We'll appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
we
you
definitely
ain't never
appreciate
said
this.
nothing.
We appreciate
All
it.
we waiting on the invitation. That's all we waiting
Hey
on.
man, just come on. Listen, you got the invitation. Come on. You know what I mean? Come on. Just come on. Let me know when you
one
got
last thing for you, man.
What up?
With the cookies and everything. This is my personal. I just got a personal question. I gotta know. With the cookies and that, did you meet Burnaby? Did you talk to Burnaby before you went there, or did you just show up?
Yeah. You know, I know Burner. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No, I know Burner. You know what I'm saying? I know, dude. But you can just go there. You can just go there. And all you need is your ID. You know what I mean? And you're in there. You know what I mean? That, like seriously, all you need is ID. And you can go right in and you can cop whatever you want to cop. Now, do know this though. People want dispensaries, right? But guys, dispensary tree is high.
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
it's high, and they're only gonna give you a 3.5 at the time. Okay, so you be prepared to spend $75 for a 3.5, and in some places in LA, 100 for a 3.5. So just know that when you go into those dispensaries, that they're gonna be busting your head, like seriously. But it's good because you can know exactly what you're getting and all that or whatever. But if you connected and respected, you can be able to get the same shit on the street and get it for way cheaper. But it is a cool experience of going there. You know what I mean? I love to go there. I love to see all the different things and explore all the different strands and see what works best for my medication. You know what I mean?
And at least you know it's not, you know, those what pesticides that's put on the actual blood or whatever.
Exactly. They pesticides, all the bad shit they put on that shit, bro. Like you don't want to have none of that.
It might be hitting hard. They don't supposed to hit that hard.
Yeah. Is the cookies good as advertised?
Oh yeah, man. They got this Gary Payton is a fire strand. Cheetah Piss is another strand that's fire. Falcon 9, if you can find it. Oh my God.
Falcon 9.
Falcon 9.
I've heard
that's what I was on when I was out there. This thing called Falcon 9. Oh, listen, they had it for one day. It sold out. Like shit is crazy. Falcon 9 comes around, get that. Pluto, if you can find that, that is also upper echelon. Like this is real Zaza. And like you know, like but they're like the wedding cakes, the ice cream cakes, the do-si-dos, those are they're good strands too. You know, most of those you can find like street level or whatever and stuff.
Sound like you need something stronger though. You passed the wedding cake.
Nah, yeah, you got
pound cake, whatever you call it. You passed that.
Lemon pound cake is also good too. Lemon pound cake. When you go to cookies, lemon pound cakes. There's Gary Payton, lemon pound cake, Cheetah Piss, Falcon 9.
Have you ever done any music with Burner?
No, I want to though. I definitely want to tap into him, but I mean, that dude getting so much money over it, man. Yeah. Just getting a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, drop your social media and let everybody know where they can find you.
Well, y'all can drop it right here on the screen. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna do that.
Put that coffeewithkinfolk.com right there, and then everything y'all want to go to is right there from there. So my own real estate online is what I push. So coffeewithkinfolk.com. Go right there.
Coffeewithkinfolk.com. We got
you, man.
Yeah. Yep, been
Right,
cool, man.
we'll
Let you know
appreciate
when that
this.
hoodie get in, sir, so I can.
Yeah, it's already been put. The order's been put in, so that'll be on the way to you. Let me know when you guys are coming to Atlanta. You're definitely welcome to come out as Tree Sounds and get some footage and get some, whatever you guys want to do. Keep your thing going. Chop this up, bro. Let's go. Let me know when you got it ready so I can feed it to the people on my end too.
Definitely.
Y'all have a blessed Sunday, man.
Thank you. We
Likewise,
appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Keep it going, okay?
Appreciate it.
All right, bless.